a chilling tale of ancient spirits, restless souls, and a horror buried beneath the ashes. When I first arrived in Pompeii, I was mesmerized. The ancient ruins, frozen in time by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD, felt like stepping into a ghostly snapshot of the past. The streets, the preserved homes, the eerie plaster casts of the victims, it was both fascinating and deeply unsettling. But what truly disturbed me was the whispers. They started as faint murmurs, just outside my hearing range, like a conversation happening in another room. I dismissed it as the wind, or perhaps overactive tourists. But as the days passed, the whispers grew stronger. And then, they started calling my name. I was part of an archaeological team studying a newly excavated section of Pompeii. While the other researchers focused on artifacts and structures, I was assigned to examine an underground chamber that had been discovered beneath the ruins of an old villa. The entrance was a narrow stone tunnel, hidden beneath layers of hardened volcanic rock. As I descended, a musty, suffocating scent filled my nostrils. The walls were lined with faded frescoes, depictions of people with hollow eyes, their mouths open as if screaming. The deeper I went, the stronger the whispers became. Some Pompeii spirits. Turn back, some Pompeii spirits. You don't belong here, some Pompeii spirits. Leave while you still can. My flashlight flickered. My breath came in short, sharp gasps. The air down here was thick, heavy with something wrong. And then my foot hit something soft. I aimed my light down. A human skull stared back at me from the dust, but it wasn't just one. The entire chamber was filled with them, a hidden crypt. And then I heard the scream. I whirled around, expecting to see someone behind me. But the chamber was empty. The sound had come from the walls. I reached out and brushed my fingers over the frescoes. As I did, the paint seemed to darken, the figures shifting beneath my touch. The hollow-eyed people. They were moving. Suddenly, the temperature plummeted. My breath turned to mist. The ground trembled beneath my feet. And then, in the dim light, the shadows took form. They emerged from the frescoes, distorted, twisted figures with charred skin and hollow sockets where eyes should have been. Their mouths opened wide, but instead of sound, all I heard was the hissing of escaping steam, like the last breath of the buried alive. I couldn't move. My body was frozen in terror. Then one of them reached out, its skeletal fingers brushing against my arm. My vision blurred. Suddenly, I wasn't in the chamber anymore. I was standing in the middle of a bustling marketplace. The air was thick with the scent of baked bread, spiced meats, and fresh fruits. People bustled around me, laughing, talking, unaware of what was coming. Then I felt it. A deep, earth-shattering rumble beneath my feet. Screams filled the air. The sky darkened as a monstrous cloud of fire and ash exploded from Mount Vesuvius, hurtling toward the city at terrifying speed. People ran, but it was useless. The first wave of scorching heat hit and the air itself ignited. Flesh burned. Buildings crumbled. Ash poured from the sky like black snow, suffocating everything beneath it. I tried to move, to run, but I couldn't. Because I wasn't watching the past, I was living it. And then I felt it. The heat, the searing pain, my lungs burned. I collapsed, my body turning to stone. My last breath stolen by the ash. I was dying, just like them. I gasped as I was yanked back to the present, collapsing onto the cold stone floor of the chamber. My skin was clammy, my heart racing. I could still feel the phantom heat licking at my flesh. The frescoes were staring at me now. The figures no longer frozen. They were watching, their mouths twisted in silent agony. Then the whispers came again. But this time, they weren't warnings. They were pleas. Pompeii spirits, help us. Release us. A sudden, unbearable pressure filled my skull, and I stumbled back, knocking over a loose stone. Beneath it, something gleamed, a golden amulet inscribed with ancient Latin. To the ones who betrayed the gods, let them remain forever buried. Realization hit me. This wasn't just a burial chamber, it was a prison, and I had just disturbed it. I fled the ruins that night. I didn't tell my team what I had seen, what I had felt. They wouldn't believe me. But something came back with me. Now, in the dead of night, I hear the whispers inside my own home. They echo through my walls, slipping into my dreams, pulling me back to that moment, to the eruption, to the fire, to the screams. Some nights I wake up choking on phantom ash. Other nights I see shadows standing at the foot of my bed, their hollow eyes burning into me. I released something that day in Pompeii, and now it won't let me go. Because the whispers don't just belong to the past. They are here, and they are waiting. The next morning I received an email from the excavation team. They had gone back to the underground chamber, but when they arrived, it was completely sealed. No tunnel, no frescoes, no bones, no proof it had ever existed. And yet, when I checked my pocket, the golden amulet was still there, and when I touched it, the whispers screamed. Some echoes of the past were never meant to be heard, because once you listen, they never stop whispering.